Short and sweet stories.
A good idea for Mumu Blue.
Jelliplánit. In the distant future, there was a boy named Mumu Blue. Mumu Blue was very energetic. He loved to learn new things, and when he didn't understand something, he always asked. But there's no doubt that what excited him the most was outer space. Mumu Blue spent hours gazing at the stars and planets. With a super high-powered telescope, he could see what his galactic neighbors were doing. His faithful sidekick was a sweet doggodile named Corky, a futuristic pet that's half dog and half crocodile. One day, while he was looking for new satellites and snacking on delicious stardust cookies, he saw something that caught his eye. A spaceship from the Jelliplánit was flying towards Earth. What do they want? Why are they coming to my planet? The spaceship got closer and closer until it finally landed just a few feet away from Mumu Blue's house. Filled with curiosity, Mumu Blue ran outside to get a better look. Once they landed on Earth, the gelatinous aliens started to dig a very deep hole. Corky was surprised to see how easy it was for them to dig such a big hole. These aliens worked really fast and were very well organized. Mumu Blue and Corky continued to spy on them, not really understanding what was going on. What did the aliens want? After a long wait, Mumu Blue finally saw them take a giant magnet out of the hole. They all helped lift it up and load it into their spaceship. As soon as they left Earth with the magnet, everything started to float. There was no gravity. It was impossible to keep your feet on the ground. Mumu Blue had the same feeling as when his class went on a field trip to the moon and experienced lunar gravity. It was like swimming and flying at the same time. While he was rushing on his way home, Mumu Blue watched everything levitating around him. He clumsily climbed through his bedroom window and just barely dodged the table lamp. It almost hit him in the head. After so much effort and excitement, Mumu Blue was starving, so he went down to the kitchen to eat something. But as soon as he opened the milk carton, the milk started to float, and it was impossible to drink. Something had to be done. This couldn't be. Mumu Blue had to find a solution for this problem, which was really quite serious. Everything was more difficult without gravity. Then, he had a great idea. Mumu Blue walked over to the garage, turned on the engine in his space car, and headed towards Jelliplánit. I'm the only one who knows who's responsible for this. When he got very close to Jelliplánit, a red light turned on and the space car started beeping. The battery was dead. He was floating in the middle of outer space, unable to move. Terrified, Mumu Blue screamed and waved his arms, hoping another ship would come by and help him. Ah! Help! Please! Help! Mr. Float, an inhabitant of Jelliplánit, saw Mumu Blue's car floating adrift and decided to come to his rescue. I'll take you to my planet so you can recharge your vehicle. Mumu Blue breathed a sigh of relief and was very grateful to Mr. Float. When they landed on Jelliplánit, Mumu Blue found himself in the middle of a huge party. The inhabitants of Jelly were dancing and singing together. They were having a great time.
What's this Earthling doing here?
I'm Mumu Blue, and I've come to take back the magnet you took from Earth. Now everything on my planet is topsy-turvy." The aliens took Muma Blue to their great leader.
"What you're saying is true, Muma Blue, but we were sick of floating around all the time. We want to be able to dance like you guys, take walks, climb mountains, go underwater, eat without all the food levitating, and all those things you Earthlings do. It's so much fun."
But we humans are not made to float, and if everything is floating around in the air, it's a total disaster. I couldn't even eat my snack.
"I'm so sorry, Muma Blue. We didn't mean to bother you, but we also want to have gravity. What can we do?"
Even though Muma Blue was angry when the inhabitants of Jelly stole the magnet, he was also grateful for their help and understood that it was hard for them to live without gravity too. So he came up with the idea of sharing the magnet. And that's how they split the large magnet into 2 pieces, one for Jelly Planet and the other for Planet Earth. Thanks to Muma Blue, life on Jelly continued to be a party. On Earth, things changed a lot with a little less gravity. Everything was more fun now. You could go twice as high when you jumped in the park, and if you fell, it hurt a lot less. They invented new games and filled the squares and streets of all towns and cities. And at snack time, when Muma Blue blew bubbles in his milk, they would float and he would pop them with his nose. And this is how sharing brought good things for everyone. And with the aliens and Muma Blue happy and satisfied, Muma Blue says goodbye until next time. You will be happy to know that gravity is one of the 4 fantastic forces that govern the universe. It is an invisible force that makes objects with mass attract each other. On Earth, gravity is what keeps us glued to the ground, the same force that causes an object to fall back down if you throw it up. No matter how high you jump, you always come back to the ground. That's why you can't fly. All objects fall just as fast, no matter how much or how little they weigh. So why don't a lead ball and a feather fall at the same speed? That's because of another invisible force, air resistance. That's why parachutes soften falls. The larger the surface area of the falling object, the more the air slows it down. Gravity loses strength as we move away from the Earth. That is why astronauts float in space. On the Moon, there is less gravity because it has a smaller mass than the Earth. That's why we seem to weigh less. Do you dare with an experiment? Cut 2 equal pieces of aluminum foil, the size of a sandwich wrapper. Squeeze one of them until you can't squeeze anymore. Drop the aluminum foil sheet and the aluminum foil ball from the same height. Which one falls first? Which one weighs more? Which one offers more resistance to air? If there were no air in between, which one would fall first? Would you like to have this book on your bookshelf and be the main character? Enter www.mumablue.com and personalize Jelly Planet.
A good idea for Muma Blue, your coolest, personalized books brand.